Skip mode. ऑटो रोटेट शुरू करो शिप्रा।
ये कौन है रूट?
Auto rotate.
अच्छा
Yes. Auto rotate. Is it good?
Yes, we can start.
Better. Let's go.
Hello everyone, and union budget is already out, and it is real game changer for the field of MSMEs and startups. While government is focusing on each and every niche of MSME, this budget has really proven, and it should prove a pace fast forward for the growth and scaling up of MSMEs. So, on behalf of entire MSME committee ICI, I welcome Sr. Arpit Kabra sir, who is a young, dynamic, and action-oriented leader in the chartered accountancy profession. He is one of the youngest elected Central Council members of ICI, and he has served as chairman of WIRC of ICI from 2023-24. He has led several technological-driven and future-focused initiatives for members and students. A forensic accountant, a techpreneur, and educator, an AI evangelist. He is also known for pioneering the use of AI, automation, data analytics, and digital tools in CA profession. He's an inspiring speaker and has conducted over 4.8 lakh man-hours of training and actively mentoring professionals and youth while promoting ethical leadership, innovation, and financial literacy. Over to you, Arpit sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Wonderful.
Yes, audible.
All right. So, thank you, Shipra, for that introduction, and yet one another moment for all of us. I think one of those moments that we've been actually working throughout the year. I must at this juncture, let me congratulate the chairman of this committee, C. Gyan Mishra ji. I think when we started to work in MSME committee, we had this committee is a fairly newer committee. The president then and the vice president of ICI then thought of setting up this committee so that we could exclusively work for MSMEs, and we did what we do the best. We empowered our members. We empowered them with various other. We came out with certificate courses and did everything that was possible so that our members grab up and become as passionate as they would be for an income tax or a GST for MSMEs. But one thing, these remained only in the programs. But this year, we did a different approach. And that is how it's rewarded so well by getting it mentioned in the union budget itself. And therefore, I must congratulate Gyanji Mishra, also the President, Vice President Charanjot Singh Nandaji and Prasanna Kumar D. sir, for making us, because we had a huge shift. We thought we'll have to work at the ground level. We'll have to go in the tier 2, tier 3 level. And right from day one, we've actually worked at every way possible at the root level so that we could empower chartered accountants to just grab up this opportunity. More importantly, the Secretary Shanu Goyal is here and the entire staff who are here. They've always, more than they would do appearance in programs, they've actually been available in the ministry office, be it the MSME ministry, be it the corporate ministry office, be it the industrial offices, be it the small scale industries, be it all other stakeholders, be the GEM, be it Bharat Pay, be it NPCI, whatever. And I'm really happy, and it's a great opportunity that this year the MSME drives that we have launched. Two critical things that we did. One, on MSME Day, across the country, we celebrated it with a huge fervor. And second, the launch of MSME clinics. I think what we hear today, Corporate Mitras, is nothing but a different avatar and different version of what we do in MSME clinics. 9 crore registered MSMEs. Friends, please understand, 9 crore registered MSMEs, and only less than 80 lakhs are being served by a chartered accountant. This is a statistics that was given to us by the ministry themselves. While we were in UP, and sharing the dais with none other than the dynamic CM, Yogi Adityanath ji. We were the only institute on that day working for the cause of what the UP government wants and how it wishes to empower the MSMEs under. And let me tell you, friends, today the Finance Minister, Honorable Sitaramanji, Nirmala Madam, also mentioned about this policy that only UP government is running, the ODOP, one district, one product, which was nowhere heard across the country except in UP. But yes, even they've taken it up there. And we were the only institute amongst all others to actually be there on the ground, set up empowering stalls to help not members, but more importantly, all the MSME entrepreneurs. We started from Bharat Mandapam, the biggest extravaganza that the government hosted, and we were participating there as a stall. From that day till the last event that we did this year was in a small town called Siroi. And I would request Gyanji to please mention about the experience at a small place in Siroi, but no other than a chartered accountant was present under the ICI MSME tribe. We were there under the MSME ecosystem to help all the MSMEs at Sirohi also. And not only this, there are so many other places, be it Varanasi, be it Coimbatore, be it Thrissur, be it Bhilai, be it Raipur, small places, tier 2, tier 3, yes, that is well done. The MSME clinics have really made a huge impact. So friends, this is our time now. I think the government has recognized our efforts. It is time that please we all understand. For an entire year, me and Gyanbhai both have been saying this. Just as GST was launched, we were very excited and we actually did roll out the entire GST framework across the country and helped each and every entrepreneur. And till date, we are doing that. Is the same thing if we start doing, it's going to be hugely remunerative, one. And second, hugely contributive to this growth of this great nation and real setup that Viksit Bharat. I still remember when we took 10 startups, they were also MSMEs. When we selected them, curated them, took them to Singapore, where 14 funds from internationally different locations came and participated. They all had one mind, one echo that we want to, through ICI, help us invest in real Bharat. And all the funds and investors are ready. So people who are listening to us, if you have any proposal, if you have any startup, if you have an MSME who's in need of funds, let the committee also know. Because the next program that we are going to host very soon, we will again raise funds for all of them and we'll help become the bridge. Because now, indeed, in true sense, ICI is a corporate mitra. And when ICI sets up as a corporate mitra, each member is the first and foremost corporate mitra. Let us do that. There's a gap of 8 crore plus MSMEs that we need to fulfill, we need to serve. And we are almost around 1.5 lakh, 1,80,000 into practice. So you just do the maths, and I'm telling you, we need huge amount of people to serve this brilliant sector MSME. And now in the absolute focus, this budget has nothing except MSMEs, infrastructure, and more empowerment to different sectors. First of its kind in a finance budget, we hear about all of these policies. Now that is a great shift. So I think we can understand how important it is. And I'm sure small things that matter the most, we now feel we have been rewarded well. We never thought that these things went unnoticed. An MSME clinic in a small area where I got a chance to meet the DFO while I was on a visit to a small place in Chhattisgarh. Hardly anyone thought that it would be noticed or it would be welcomed, but we got a feedback from there that on one day when we interacted with more than 100 people, 100 entrepreneurs, that is where they thought it is important. So I invite all of you to please grab up the opportunity and register for the MSME certification course. I think that is the one thing that will make you all eligible and fit, and we are the best people to become a corporate mitra. It is just the 6 principles that we have set out throughout the year. Fathom: finance, accounting, technology, human resource, operations, and management. I think if we work on this, I'm telling you, that is what the MSME needs. That is what this country needs. So more power to every member over here. I wish we do something fabulous again this year, and stay in touch, stay in tune, because there's a lot to more come from MSME, the and startup committee of the ICI. And with all of your support, I think it's a great moment for all of us as chartered accountants get recognized, and more importantly, are mandated to revolve and create revolution around this industry, the MSME sector. So congratulations to all of you, and special thanks to the entire committee, Shanu, Richa, Ravi Rana ji, and everyone who's worked tirelessly for making sure that our small efforts, setting up of stalls, setting up presence, marking our presence in areas from northeast. So in fact, we are from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Gujarat to Guwahati. We have ensured we have done everything right through our 183 branches and all the volunteers across the country. Thank you all for setting this up today. And it's now time from here on, we actually start focusing on working on this framework and help MSMEs grow. Thank you very much. Over to you, Gyan Bhai.
Thank you, Ankit Bhai, for giving such a wonderful welcome address of this very important webinar. And before I start, I acknowledge the presence of CM Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji, who is special invitee of the committee, and CM Manoj Lamba ji, CA Sanu Goyal ji, secretary of the committee, and all officers of the institute, and all respected participants. Good afternoon to one and all. Indeed, it's a great pleasure for me that today we are addressing this webinar. Probably in the year, every Friday we are doing webinar.
Yes, sir.
From 2 to 4 p.m. But a few of the webinars we could address, and this is very special webinar for me. That when I got the opportunity to serve as chairman of this very important committee. So this committee is very huge committee. This is not a small committee, and probably each and every chartered accountant and each individual of the country is connected to this, whether he or she is business person, whether they are doing agriculture, whether they are in innovation, whether they are in startups, MSME, in whatever manner they are contributing to the growth ecosystem of the country, they are somehow connected to this MSME committee. Dear friends, when I joined as chairman of this committee, I had only one thought in my mind, that probably the India lives in category 3, category 4 cities. And I'm happy to share with you all that we started with this vision only, that if we really want to serve the nation through the MSMEs, then we have to reach to the root level. And with this vision, we started working. Probably we did not do any big program except 2-3 events we did. We tried to connect the stakeholders at large. We went to them, we tried to tell them that we are an institution which has the maximum presence across the country and across the globe. And 2 months back only, we came up with one very important initiative, that was MSME Clinic. And that was the game changer. The MSME Clinic was well, given publicity by the social media, by the newspapers, and I am happy that somehow our voice reached to Honorable Finance Minister, and she took this initiative to have corporate mitra for the MSMEs. So corporate mitra, we are already corporate mitra because we are serving to the nation at large. Not only MSMEs and startups, but we shall serve to each and everyone. Now, mitra words in itself denotes that there is something special. That now we have to handhold them, because when you are mitra of anyone, you are friend of anyone, your responsibility is not to just give a formal guidance, but a friend in need is a friend indeed. So now all chartered accountants who are going to be corporate mitra, they should understand that we as a professional are not going to just charge the fees for the services rendered to them. We are sowing the seed. We are trying to make it big, flourish, and take the fruits. When we shall have this intention, probably it would be the real intent of the committee at large, of the profession at large, and this will match and coincide with the vision of the government of India. And I always admire one very important thing, that God has given us a wonderful opportunity to serve the nation as chartered accountant. This is the profession where we people support to make it big, bigger, and biggest one. Probably there is no other profession in the world which sees towards the growth of the entire ecosystem. We always try to make the things big because we understand well that if the business organization will flourish more, we shall have the ability to charge more fees. So, see, our interest is not only to charge the fees, our interest is to make the nation proud on us by contributing to the entire economic system. The second thing, friends, I would like to tell you that as of now, we are about 5,20,000 chartered accountants across the world, not only India. Out of that, about 1,70,000 chartered accountants are in practice. Rest are in industry. Nowhere it is written that the persons who are in industry they can't serve. They can also serve to the society by being corporate mitra. We are under process to formalize the things very soon. We have already taken up the subject. Course curriculum is designed. Certificate courses are going to be launched very soon. And ICI, being the leader of the finance profession across the country, I am sure will take lead in this segment as well. Because this is not new for me. This is not new for us. We thought 1 year back only what there should be for the MSMEs. Then probably in 1 year's effort, we went to SIDBI, we went to SEBI, we went to NSC, we went to NSIC, we went to, I'm happy to share all the members. Today, just 1 hour back only, I got call from Secretary MSME Madhya Pradesh. Arpit Bhai, for your knowledge also. And he requested me to have urgent meeting with him. He told me that your work is being recognized by the society. Come, we will sit together, we will plan how the chartered accountants of Madhya Pradesh can contribute in the ecosystem of the MSME. So this is not a small achievement. If the regulators, government wings are in continuous touch with you, they are calling regularly, then probably this is the time when we should explore more. Again, happy to share the second thing. Arpit, me, Sanu, and Honorable President went Lucknow for MOU with Government of Uttar Pradesh. Honorable Chief Minister was kind enough to discuss few words because he was very busy, he was on dais. Still, he discussed few words that ICI is biggest organization, you people must come forward to contribute. After 3 meetings with Director Industries and MSME Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, he agreed to host the MEF panel on website of Department of MSME. This is a very big achievement that all the chartered accountants who are specialized in MSME, they will be recognized at a single click by the MSMEs through the website of the government of UP. And they will be able to avoid the middlemen who take so many, they take money also. And at the same time, they are not able to deliver as a professional. The same, it happened with Telangana government. We are going to host our MEF panel with Telangana government also. So friends, this year we tried at different dimensions. Though focus was not much to have seminars and webinars. Recently, well said by Arpit Bhai, in Sirohi, very small place of Rajasthan, we had our, stall over there. And the stall got the best stall award over there. This award is, here only, before us only. So I'm happy to share if we are able to reach to Sirohi a village, probably ICI is reaching to the root level now. In Mumbai and Delhi, so many experts are sitting. But in Sirohi, in Datia, in Ayodhya, probably there are very people who are aware about MSME structure and they are able to advise. We as a chartered accountant, we all are MSMEs. Most of us are MSME. एक मैं हिंदी में आप लोगों को एक दो लाइन का एक दोहा सुनाना चाहूंगा। जाके पांव न फटी बेवाई, सो क्या जाने पीर पराई। तो जिसके दर्द है वही दर्द को समझता है। चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट खुद एमएसएमई है, वो जानता है कि एमएसएमई को हम कैसे सर्व कर सकते हैं। सो माय रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल द respected participants would be, please come forward. Now it's time to take the charge of the entire ecosystem of the MSME of the country. And no other than the chartered accountants could be the better person to lead this very important initiative of the country. And we people have always tried to stood by the side of the government when it comes. When GST came, we were the highest number of professional, highest number of seminars, webinars were conducted across the country. And finally, the GST rolled out. Honorable President, Honorable Prime Minister of the country acknowledged the same through one letter to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India that if GST could be rolled out, that has been because of the chartered accountants of the country. Likewise, I am sure about it that if corporate mitra are going to serve to the nation at the root level, it would be chartered accountant. Because no other could be corporate mitra, I am telling you. We are the persons who know everything. We know industry, we know law, we know corporate law, we know GST, we know income tax. Take the name, we know that. We are Jack of all. So that's why you can be the true mitra. You can help them, you can handhold them. So my dear friends, I'll not take much time as two of very important experts are here, CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji and CA Manoj Lamba ji, and they will guide us how we are going to handhold the entire ecosystem. This is the biggest opportunity you can avail in this century, I am telling you. In this century, I am telling you, not decade. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के लिए इससे बड़ा वरदान नहीं हो सकता है कि इस समय उठकर सामने आए, लेकिन हमारी समस्या क्या है? We ourselves don't know what are the subsidy schemes in the state, what are the subsidy schemes of the central government, what are the basic things that one MSME could avail from the government. So I'll request both the speakers to kindly cover it with very much networked how the chartered accountants could be corporate mitra and how they can contribute. And my dear friends, the last thing, this is our nation which is going to be a developed country by 2047. And role of each chartered accountant in this developed country would be immense. पैसा अगर किसी को समझ में आता है तो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को समझ में आता है. People say, are they number cruncher? No, I don't think so. We understand money. We are number cruncher. वो सबको गलतफहमी है. Number crunching is very small thing in the computer as of now. Artificial intelligence is taking over the entire havoc of system. But we have brains. We are the persons who understand the entire ecosystem of the finance and economy. That's why we have got the opportunity. Avail this opportunity, move ahead, and take the lead as corporate mitra. My good wishes to all of you for attending this webinar. Thank you very much for patient listening.
Thank you very much, Gyanbhai. I think very valid. You've put on all the activities of this committee, and I'm sure value add is something that is inbuilt in a chartered accountant. And this is the best platform, this is the best opportunity to value add into every MSME, into every entrepreneur, into the great economic development. Shipraji, if you're there, please kindly take it over. Yes.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, Arpit sir. Thank you so much, Gyan sir. So dear friends, we heard it from our Gyan sir, who requires no introduction, but yet He is a distinguished fellow chartered accountant with over 26 years of professional experience. He is a master in commerce and qualified in insolvency professional, an associate member of ICSI as well, and a law graduate who brings along a strong academic depth and practical expertise to the profession. He currently serves as the Central Council member of ICAI for 2025 to 29 term, and he marks his second consecutive tenure. He holds several key leadership roles, including chairman of Insolvency and Value Standard Board, chairman of Committee on MSME and Startup, and vice chairman of Peer Review Board. And he is also director additional in Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICAI. A renowned speaker, Sir has always addressed prestigious forums on audit and assurance, IBC, company law, professional ethics, emerging opportunities for CA, and now MSMEs. He is also founder of Gyan Ki Baat Foundation, who is actively contributing towards professional mentoring and social upliftment. And now we have with us CA Manoj Lamba, sir, who has an experience of more than 25 years in the field of auditing, income tax, company law, and he nurtures startups and MSME businesses. And he's his hard work is evident through his multifaceted roles. He's also a co-founder of Biz Gyan Private Limited, a distinguished startup recognized by Government of India, and a registered mentor on Startup India Government Portal. He actively engages in guiding startups throughout their growth trajectory from inception to securing funds. Now, I request CM Manoj Lamba sir to please help us understand budget and also guide us where the MSMEs and what for MSMEs as far as.
I think before Manoj Lamba ji could come in and he would set up the entire tone and he would give in details. I think we have Gupta ji also with us. May I invite him to first address all of us. I think it is an important mix because Manoj ji can give in all the details and then Mukesh ji could set up the entire platform. So Mukesh ji, if we could hear from you first, it would be more relevant. Because I remember now that under the MSME, the committee has now also rolled out a small little publication of subsidies of all the states. Shanu, is that right?
Yes, sir.
We have
28 states and 2 UTs, sir.
So I think that is one publication where both of these gentlemen that you see on the screen have contributed. So I request Gupta ji, Mukesh ji, please, if you could, address us first. Over to you, Mukesh ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So thank you, CA Gyan Mishra ji, and thank you, CA Arpit Kabra ji, for giving me this opportunity. In fact, since last about 4 or 5 budgets, I always used to tell that this is not a normal budget, this is an MSME budget. And this time also, I am happy to share that I am proudly say that this is a MSME budget. Because when I was going through the budget, I can see that not only the provisions related to MSMEs, entire budget is centered about the MSMEs. I'll try to let you know some of the provisions of the budget. The details will definitely be shared by Mr. Lamba, that why I am saying this as an MSME budget. So before we start, just a brief about what is MSME, though all of you will be very aware of the definition of MSME, but as on today, any enterprise, whether it's manufacturing, service or trader, having investment of up to 125 crore rupees and turnover up to 500 crore is classified under micro, small and medium enterprises. And the best thing is that the export turnover is not to be considered by calculating this 500 crore turnover. So if there is an enterprise having a turnover with export turnover of say 2,000 crore rupees or 5,000 crore rupees, it will be classified as micro enterprises. Right. So this is the beauty of this MSME Act and the new definition. Another very important thing is that there is always MSMEs are always shy of upgradation because most of the schemes and facilities are available to micro and small enterprises having investment up to 25 crore and turnover up to 100 crore. So whenever they grow beyond 100 crore of turnover, these MSMEs feel that now we will be out of all the facilities which are being provided by different ministries, including Ministry of MSMEs or I feel every ministry has some or the other scheme for micro and small enterprises, but maximum schemes are for micro and small enterprises. And the data is also there. As on today morning, 7.62 crore MSMEs have been registered as per the Udyam data, which is the one and only registration for classifying of any MSME. Out of these 7.62 crore, 7.56 crores are classified as micro enterprises. So only about 5 lakhs units are there, which are either small or medium category. Medium is only 36,000. This MSME sector is employing more than 33 crore employees. Meaning thereby, if I calculate just a family of 4, so 33 crore say more than 120 crore people I feel are some or other way are dependent on the MSMEs. This is the beauty of this MSME sector. Why I am saying this budget as MSME budget? Because in the last budget also, MSME was mentioned as an engine of growth. In this budget also, creating champion MSME is mentioned as one of the kartavya of the government. So this very important thing is there that government has agreed that this is their basic kartavya to make these MSME as champion. If I just see some of the provisions which are especially for MSMEs, so point number 27 starts with this creating champion SMEs and supporting micro enterprises. So if the government is ready to support micro enterprises, means more than 98% are covered under MSME, and the government is ready to support these micro enterprises. Some of the provision starting from para 27 of the speech of Honorable Finance Minister is that the government has proposed 10,000 crore rupees of fund as SME growth fund. See, this is very important. If we go into the deep of this SME growth fund, you all will be aware that whenever any fund is created by the government, so if the government has created 10,000 crore rupees, I feel the details will definitely be announced very soon. But at least 40,000 crore rupees will be funded by daughter funds. So I am sure that this 10,000 crore rupees will bring in at least 50,000 crore rupees into the MSME through the equity support to high potential MSME based on certain criteria which has been mentioned in the budget speech. Friends, the problem of MSMEs is that whenever they go to any bank for financial assistance, the bankers ask first thing, what will be the debt equity ratio, what will be the TOL, TNW, and we the MSMEs are mostly stuck up with this ratio because we have limited capital. Though the SME and SME IPOs are there with the BSE and NSE both, but still there are very, very few enterprises which have been able to raise funds through this SME IPO mechanism. So the SMEs are always short of capital. And when they go to the bank, this debt equity ratio or say TOL, TNW ratio come as a hindrance to them. Now with this at least 50,000 crore rupees of growth fund, I feel this problem will be solved to some extent. The another provision being announced in this budget is a top-up self-reliant fund, which was set up in the year 2021 with the 10,000 crore rupees of fund. I feel that you all will be very aware of this SRI fund, Self-Reliant India Fund. This Self-Reliant India Fund currently is of 50,000 crore rupees, out of which 10,000 crore rupees was contributed by the government and 40,000 crore rupees was funded by the private investor. And so the concept is the same, which I was just referring to, that the daughter funds are required to invest at least 5 times of the amount from the SRI fund. And the target beneficiaries in SRI fund are MSMEs with high growth potential that are struggling to access the capital. Another 2,000 crore rupees by the government will add another about 12,000 crore rupees for MSMEs as equity. I am proud to tell you that though we are discussing a lot of data of MSME, but one or two data which I feel that how government thinks that MSME is very important in growth of any country and to make a Viksit Bharat. One, we have seen that Gyan sir and Arpit sir had just tell us about this corporate Mitra. Two more things are there that I was invited by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji at his official residence in a group of just about 6 people. There was no minister, no secretary, and I was called for the MSME sector. There was other sectors also. And since last about 8 years, since I represent the MSME sector, I am being called, invited by the respective finance ministers for the pre-budget consultation. In this pre-budget consultation meeting also, we discussed about the role of TRADS platform, because whenever you discuss with any MSME, they will say that funding is one of the biggest problem through debt, through equity, and funding requirement can be met by timely payment to micro, small, medium enterprises. If they are paid on time by their buyers, I suppose they will not be required to roam around the bankers and the venture capital funds for funding, because their own capital, their own funds are stuck up with the buyers. So they are roaming around with the bankers to get the capital in the form of debt or equity. So in this budget also, and the finance minister, Honorable Nirmala Sitharamanji, in the pre-budget consultation meeting also agreed to this, that yes, that can be very, very important support to MSMEs. Here also, and currently we have 5 trade platform, you all will be aware. So what we requested in the pre-budget consultation, that every invoice of every MSME should be routed through trade platform, whether it is discounted or not discounted, so that everybody will be aware at the government level also that how many invoices have been raised by the MSMEs, how many of them have been discounted through trade platform. Perhaps most of this suggestion has been accepted by the Honorable Finance Minister in this budget when she refers para 30 of the budget speech, that all purchases from MSMEs by CPSCs serving as a benchmark for other corporates will be routed through trade platform, meaning thereby that the central government has agreed that central public sector enterprises में जितनी भी central CPSCs हैं, their all invoices from MSMEs shall be routed through trade platform. And I'm confident that when all the invoices will be routed through this trade platform, most of the invoices will have to be discounted. And once the central government has agreed for this thing, I have no doubt that all the state government, all other corporates which are bound to be on board at trade platform as a buyer, means any corporate having turnover of more than 250 crore will also agree to this thing, that now onwards they will also assure that all the invoices of MSMEs are routed through trade platform. This fund is, friends, available to MSMEs without any collateral security, without recourse. So if tomorrow that buyer doesn't pay to the banker, to the lender, the bank or the lender who has discounted the invoice may not come back to the supplier. So it is without recourse. And more so, the government has given the CGT MSC cover also. The guidelines will definitely be prepared soon by the CGT MSC. But this guarantee will also be there if the purchases are linked with the GEM. So linking of GEM and TRADS is also very, very welcome move through this budget. Friend, these are the provisions which have been mentioned particularly for the MSME sector in this budget. But when I read the whole budget, in fact, I was going through the budget and I could not find even a single provision in this budget which will not impact the micro, small, medium enterprises. So some of the things I'll just briefly touch upon. So in para 20 of the budget, it has been mentioned that the government will support states in establishing 3 dedicated chemical parks. So friends, we all will understand that these chemical parks will have n number of MSMEs in the country. So this is also, I feel that it should also have been covered under the MSME announcement. If we see para number 21, again, it tells that high-tech tool rooms will be established by the CPSCs at different locations. This will also be helpful for MSME sector. A scheme for enhancement of construction and infrastructure equipment, and these will be created in large and small tunnel boring equipment for building metros and high altitude roads. Many of the MSMEs are providing services for this sector also. There is another provision which calls that for textile sector. We all know that many textile industries, and we have weavers also, we have handlooms also. So for the textile sector also, the government has given a lot of announcement under this budget. Mega textile parks will be created in a challenge mode. This is very, very important. This will also be for the MSME sector. The government has proposed to launch the Mahatma Gandhi Gram Swaraj initiative to strengthen, it's very important, to strengthen whom? Khadi, handloom and handicraft. All covered under, particularly I feel that even micro enterprises. So this another provision is for a global hub for high quality affordable sports goods. Friends, I feel these affordable sports goods, they are not talking about the high-end sports goods. They are talking about the affordable sports goods. All these sports goods, I suppose, are manufactured or traded by the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So these are some of the provisions which are related to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Then 200 industrial clusters. We all know that in industrial clusters, I feel all more than 90% units will be covered under micro, small, and medium enterprises. Then the public capex of 12.2 lakh crore rupees will be there from the government. Most of this will be used through the micro, small, and medium enterprises because the definition is too large now for MSMEs. As I told initially, that domestic turnover up to 500 crore rupees and export turnover, any amount will be covered under micro, small, and medium enterprises. Then there is another very important provision that the government is saying that we shall now focus on tier 2 and tier 3 cities and even temple towns which need modern infrastructure and basic amenities. Who will prepare these basic infrastructure and amenities? So you will be requiring a lot of things which will be manufactured by micro and small enterprises. Then there is a very, very important thing is like the corporate mitras provision has been announced in this budget. I feel this budget is covering 2-3 important things. Manufacturing, second is banking, and third is service sector. In this budget, the government has also felt the importance of service sector because service sector is contributing a lot in the GDP. Manufacturing sector is also very important. Currently, manufacturing sector contributes about 12% in the GDP. And the target will be not less than 25% if we want to make our India a developed country by 2047. There will be a need of 36 trillion credit growth. From where that money will come? Because if we need that much of credit to be provided to the industries, to enterprise, the capital will also be required. From where this capital will come? It can come either through the equity shares by these bankers. It will come through FDI or maybe some other source. So capital will also be required if really we want to have a Viksit Bharat. So the government has announced that a high-level committee on banking for Viksit Bharat will be created. I am sure that the government or the finance ministry will definitely consider one representative from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India also in this committee, and the scope of work will be announced soon. But to me, one of the agenda of this committee will definitely be how to provide timely and educate finance to micro, small, and medium enterprises. So this will again be very, very important announcement being made in this budget, particularly for MSME sector. Most of the MSMEs are being served by the NBFCs also. So that has also been considered in this budget by the Honorable Finance Minister. And it has been agreed that NBFCs are also very, very important for Viksit Bharat. And PFC and REC strengthening has been recommended in this budget. I feel a lot of other NBFCs will also gain a lot of support with this budget. So whenever I was just going through the budget speech, I found that everything is for the MSME sector. The government has also decided to place a renewed emphasis on the service sector, as I was just referring to provide a pathway to fulfilling aspiration to youthful India by various measures, education to employment and enterprises. So what they propose that, I suppose here under para 51, they are referring to startups. So government has considered the startups also as the very important part to make the Viksit Bharat. So education to employment and then to enterprise. So they are saying that you get the education, then for some time you may be working as an employee in some company to gain some experience and then become an enterprise. And this has been mentioned in various other provisions of this budget actually. So to create various entrepreneurs, it has also been proposed in this budget that a strong care ecosystem covering generic and allied care services will be built. And it is mentioned that as wellness, yoga, operation of medical and assistive device, and 1.5 lakh caregivers will be trained. Like we are talking about the corporate mitras. So in every field, who will be these caregivers? So these will be trained, and ultimately I am confident that they will also be a startup and then MSMEs. So we, the chartered accountants, have to support these 1.5 lakh caregivers in educating, in supporting them, in getting them funding, and so on and so forth. Another regional medical hubs will be created. There also, role of MSME will be very important. Then there are 800 districts in our country. And a very important provision has been made in this budget. I feel in the back end, the finance minister was thinking every time for the support of MSME sector. So it has been provided, and I, as an MSME person, has visualized this budget, every provision for the MSME sector. So it has been provided that one girls hostel will be established in every district. Just imagine, friends, 800 girls hostel will be provided, because covering all 800 districts of the country. And who will build these girls hostel in small district, big district? All these will be many material, maybe tiles, maybe electrical, maybe sanitary. All these products will be manufactured by MSMEs, and then the contractor, electrical contractor, civil contractor, they all are micro, small, and medium enterprises. So be ready, the professionals and the MSMEs also, for your growth to contribute to Viksit Bharat by 2047. And I am confident with these type of budget, we may achieve Viksit Bharat, or we may achieve this developed India much before 2047 also. Then a pilot scheme for upskilling 10,000 guides in 20 iconic tourist sites through a standardized high-quality 12-week training course in hybrid mode in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Management. Friends, these 10,000 guides will itself be an enterprise, because service sector is also covered under MSME, and these guides will be covered under service sector as an enterprise. They will be requiring lot of schemes by the government, and with the help of we, the chartered accountant professionals. Another very important announcement in this budget, particularly for the MSME sector, is She Marts. You might have read that self-help entrepreneurs marts will be set up as community-owned retail outlets. So these She Marts definitely are to be run by micro enterprises. Then likewise, the Divyang Jan Kaushal Yojana has been announced. There also lot of MSME will be benefited. Apart from these provisions, there have been many provisions for ease of doing business. I feel those provisions will be taken up by Mr. Lamba, and I'm confident that this budget and the forthcoming budget will definitely help and support MSMEs in a big way, be it a capital, be it timely payment to them, and so on and so forth. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much. If you have any question, maybe we can discuss maybe at the end, or now also. At the end, we will be happy to take some of the questions. Thank you very much. Over to Shipra ji.
Man, are you there?
So we can invite, with the permission of Arpit ji, we can invite CA Manoj Lamba ji, because there is some technical issue with while connecting with Ms. Shipra. So Manoj ji, you can take up the session now. We all are willing to learn a lot from your expertise.
Thanks a lot, and a very good evening to everyone present here, and special thanks to MSME and Startup Committee of ICAI for providing me an opportunity for sharing my views on this Budget 26, particularly impact on MSME and startups. Friends, from last 6-7 years, particularly when this COVID happened in the country, the government has put so much emphasis on MSME and startups. Why? When this COVID happened, in the entire globe, the Prime Minister announced a lockdown, the nationwide lockdown in the entire country. And at that time, our MSMEs, which are the backbone of the economy, are in hue and cry, because they have no money to pay rent, electricity bills, salaries, run-to-run day-to-day operations. That time, the government of India really recognizes the need for the development and strengthening the MSMEs. And from that year onwards, my dear friends, the government is putting much focus, much emphasis on the MSMEs and startups. And in this budget, the Finance Minister Sahiba Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji very clearly said that this is the budget of Yuva India, Yuva Shakti budget. The Finance Minister started his speech, it is a Yuva Shakti budget, and who is empowering this MSME? Only we youth Indians, we young Indians. The entire announcement in this budget, as my co-speaker, Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji has said, revolves around either startups or MSME, nothing else. No much major amendments with regard to slab rates or tax rate. Everything is revolving around the startups and MSME world. I am very, very hopeful after going through my deliberation, you will really recognize that there are lot of opportunities, lot of new avenues are open for we chartered accountants also through this budget. How we can on that budget? We will put little focus on that also. But before that, I want to share my PPT with you people. Just give me a minute to share my PPT with you. Is my PPT visible, sir?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you so much. Friends, the Finance Minister Saiba Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman has very clearly stated during his budget speech, we have to create, we have to build MSME champions now. We want that our MSME work as a champions now. That's why they give three pillars of empowerment, for or to act as MSME as a champion. First pillar is the equity sport. First pillar is the equity sport as evident from my PPT. Pillar 1 is the equity sport. But for that equity sport, rupees 10,000 crore. Rupees 10,000 crore is allocated for SME growth fund. Injects fresh capital into enterprise ready for scaling. Friends, what is this fund? For what purpose this fund is allocated? It is very important to know we as a chartered accountant. Generally, our micro and small enterprises, when starts business, face capital issue. The business requires so much funds, but they have not having initial capital to start the business. That's why our visionary government has created a fund by the name SME Growth Fund, contributing to that kitty rupees 10,000 crore that will help the MSME and startup to inject fresh capital into enterprise ready for scaling. There is earlier a special fund for startups that is called Startup India Seed Fund. Startup India Seed Fund scheme. That scheme is doing so good. That scheme is good, doing so good. But it is available only to DPIIT registered startups. But there is nothing like that for MSMEs. That's here the government also thinks about MSMEs, and a separate fund that is called SME Growth Fund is proposed to be set up with the initial capital outlay of 10,000 crore for providing fresh capital to the enterprises ready for scaling. Second, shift MSME from loan dependency to equity back expansion. The loan in the India is very costly. The people afraid of taking loan. Their financial did not support their eligibility to become credit worthiness of the banks. And similarly, even they borrow from bank is not ready to give the micro or small enterprises because they have a fear in mind that people are not able to scale the business. If they are not able to scale the business, they are not in the position to pay our debts. That's why the government is putting the focus, as I have already told in my seminars, raise money through equity, not through debts. Equity is the tool through which if you are raising money, which no need to pay, and second, very important, no need to pay any interest burden. Dividend is on the sweet wheels of the promoters whether to pay or not. So that's here the government it thinks like that. We will provide equity supports to the MSME where we will provide equity support where no need to pay back the funds immediately. And second thing, no need to pay any dividend or returns to the only long-term return. We want that people as an investor in the MSME who put their equity for their future growth. The second, survival mindset. It will foster the youth, the generations to come forward and set up their entrepreneurs rather than seeking job from the government. Our youth wants lot of employment from the government, lot of job from the government. Now the government is shifting the mindset of the citizens of India to become the job provider rather than job seekers. So this support from the government side will become our young entrepreneurs to come forward by taking the equity support from the government and become future ready entrepreneur, future ready MSME. The second support, my dear friend, government is provided through pillar number two. Pillar number two, that is liquidity support. That is liquidity support. In this, the government is unlocks working capital via tax. As my friend, my earlier speaker, Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji also tell something, has put some attention on this TREDS platform. This TREDS platform is providing liquidity supports to the startups. It is unlocking working capital via TREDS. The government now wants every invoice now routed through this TREDS platform. That's why they have asked, they have instructed, they have proposed every invoice of central government enterprises now routed through this TREDS platform. It is an invoice discounting platform on which different players, different exchanges are built. Then strengthening by a three-layer architecture. How the government is strengthening the trade system? First, the players, the bankers, the financial institution registered on the trades who are providing the facility of this invoice discounting has a fear in mind, if the buyer, if the seller didn't pay back money to us, then what will happen? How our money will be secure? Now the government has ready to provide these securities to the invoice discounting companies by through CGT MSME guarantees. CGT MSME guarantee as provided collateral free loan to the MSME of 10 crore in their case. And second very important thing, gem visibility. Gem visibility. There is a government e-marketplace. Now that platform is 100% linked to the TREDS platform. Every sale, every transaction routed through this gem is now automatically linked to the TREDS portal, so that automatically discounting can happen by adopting the latest technologies in the world. So gem visibility further boosts this TREDS platform. Then third very important thing, my dear friends, asset-backed security. Now these trade receivables of all these company can act as asset-backed security. It is treated as a security now. So it is a pillar number two, which is providing liquidity supports, my dear friend. Then pillar number three, sir. Very, very, very important. If our RPG is listening me, I am putting much focus on that. Pillar number three is the professional support. From day one, 1st February, now we on 3rd February. There is a fear in the mind. There is a fear in the mind of we chartered accountant, we professional, the government is creating another force of consultant, that is corporate mitra, which will sneeze much work from us. But my dear friends, one thing I want to make you very, very clear. We chartered accountant are the finest brain of the world. We chartered accountant are the finest brain of the world. We have a knowledge of technology. We have knowledge of taxation. We have knowledge of accounts. We have knowledge of finance. We have knowledge of everything. So in pillar number three, to provide sports to the MSME, the government has proposed to introduce a concept of corporate mitras where this force is trained. This force is trained by ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. Very, very important thing the finance minister has touched during or while proposing this proposal in his budget speech, in her budget speech. That is, these corporate trusts will focus on tier 2 and tier 3 towns only. Tier 2 and tier 3 town only, and ensures wide separate access to the accounting, secretarial, and cost management expertise. Now, what is happening? Earlier, what is happening? As our chairman of the committee, CA Gyanchand Mishra ji has very rightly pointed out, India lives in rural area. India lives in tier 2, tier 3 cities. India lives in very, very small kasbas. When India lives in that, our industry lives in that. Our grassroots lives in that. To educate the tier 2, tier 3 young generation force, to provide them support, the government is introducing the concept of corporate mitra, and we chartered accountants now act as a corporate mitra to help them to further scaling their MSME from initial level to IPO level, my dear friends. So we are exploring our wings now. It is not going to restrict our wings. Getting my point? It is a product for us only. It is not for anyone else. It is the cake of our plate only. So it is the pillar number 3, professional support the government is providing to us. Next, my dear friends, we have discussed on that. We have discussed on this also. We have discussed on this also. We have discussed on this also. And we have discussed on this also. Pillar number 2, same thing, Rithi. We have discussed on this also. And we have discussed on this also. Now, we are coming on this slide. This infographic is the second part of my PPT. The second part is powering the future. Indian strategic push for MSME-led manufacturing. MSME-led manufacturing, powering the future. Who is manufacturing? Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta has discussed with us 12% of our GDP comes from this manufacturing sector. The government wants to boost it. Where we are behind China and US. The two main segments where our MSME is lagging behind, due to which we are behind the US and China. And we are very near to number 3 and number 4. Very soon, our Prime Minister is saying, very soon we will at number 3 in the world. Why they are saying? Because of this budget proposal, because of the policy framework they have kept in mind. That's why our honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is so confident that very soon you will see India at rank 3 in the entire globe. Why? Because the rupees 40,000 crore. Rupees 40,000 crore, my dear friends, they have allocated for electronic components manufacturing only. Electronic component manufacturing only. And then second thing, we are lacking behind the China, Japan, is the semiconductor manufacturing. The small chips, semiconductor are not available in India. Very small manufacturing facilities available in India. To boost the semiconductor mission 2.0, the government now please note the wording of my PPT, developing a complete ecosystem. Developing a complete ecosystem of what? Semiconductor mission. Developing a complete ecosystem for chip manufacturing, including equipments and material. And who will contribute? Our MSME will contribute. So 40,000 crore for electronic component, and another semiconductor mission 2.0 has been launched. And third, very important requirement to make healthy India, wealthy India. Healthy and wealthy India will come because of this Biopharma Shakti ecosystem. Biopharma Shakti ecosystem is creating a domestic manufacturing base for boostlers and advanced therapies. And as earlier discussed, rupees 10,000 crore is also allocated for containers and tool rooms. For containers and tool rooms. The core strategies empowering MSMEs, my dear friends. Now, MSME position versus essential vendor. Now, revival of 200 legacy industrial clusters. Now, plug and play infrastructure which will be available. How it will happen, we will discuss in the slides. MSME at the core of India's strategic manufacturing push, positioning micro, small, and medium enterprises as a critical vendor to frontier sectors. What is the strategic intent of the government behind that? Now, the government wants integration into high value ecosystems. How this value system will create it? MSME positioned as essential vendors to frontier sectors. हम फ्रंट सीट में चाहते हैं अब MSMEs को, driving national manufacturing competitiveness and supply chain resilience. Direct participation in strategic value chains, technology transfer, capability buildings, assured institutional demand. Then biopharma Shakti ecosystem for domestic biological push. We don't want to remain dependent now on US and China for this kind of medicines or medicine raw material. This biopharma Shakti ecosystem will help the MSMEs for this biological push. And now we want our health sector, our health manufacturing company will focus on these world quality products. So much focus also put on this Ayurveda in the budget. Domestic biological push, biosimilars and advanced therapy manufacturing base. Lot of therapies, lot of care taking. We will discuss it later in this PPT. Then who will manufacture equipment? Who will provide consumables? Who will provide component? Who will provide specialized services? All our MSMEs, my dear friend. Next, my dear friend, electronic component manufacturing. 40,000 crore funds are allocated to you. Massive localization drive. Now, every electronic equipment, whether it is to be put in X-ray machine or ECG machine or MRI machines or this computers, this LEDs, everywhere, cars, electronic cars, everywhere where electronic components are required, now India will manufacture itself. Even printed circuit boards, small PCB manufacturing, casing, connectors, sub-assemblies, we will manufacture all in India now. Or very soon, you will see India as a biggest electronic component manufacturing hub of the globe. Very soon we will give competition to China now. Second very important thing, my dear friends, health sectors we are giving the competition to China. We are giving electronic component manufacturing now. And third is semiconductor manufacturing. Semiconductor mission number 2. Here we will help the complete ecosystem development, equipment material, design infrastructure for chip manufacturing. We always said कि यार कंप्यूटर की चिप्स हिंदुस्तान में नहीं बनती, हार्ड डिस्क हिंदुस्तान में नहीं बनती, अब सब कुछ हिंदुस्तान में बनेगा. प्रेसिजन पार्ट्स, स्पेशलिटी केमिकल्स, clean room items. As Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta said, 3 chemical parks have to be set up. So all this help and going to support our MSME ecosystem in the world. Now, rare earth corridors for mining, for processing, for manufacturing, government is building complete value chain from mining to manufacturing. MSME positioned as a critical player in magnets, alloy, and intermediate products for clean energy and defense applications. 3 chemical parks I have discussed with you. Cluster-based manufacturing model, plug and play infrastructure, shared utility and waste management, common effluent treatment, regulatory compliance support, technological centers. All this facility is available to our MSME through these chemical parks. MSME focus area, specialty chemical production, chemical intermediaries, process optimization services, And my dear friend, we chartered accountant has a role. The government role is to frame the policy, and this how this policy has actually come into the existence on this earth. We chartered accountant has to play a role. The government has done his job, but now we chartered accountant has to do our job now. Now, construction and infrastructure equipment scheme for high-tech capital goods, fabrication facility, hydraulic components we will do. Then container manufacturing plus high-tech tool room, as Mr. Gupta had discussed during his speech, 10,000 crore investment for high-tech tool rooms has been allocated. Container ecosystem, complete domestic supply chain for logistic containers, precision manufacturing support and capability development. Then very important investment, revival of 200 legacy industrial clusters. The concept of industrial clusters are already there. And to further impact, we are reviving them to provide more common facilities like testing, like research and development, like training center. We will build in at our clusters only. Then we will help through technology upgradation, modern machinery and processes. Then we help through one more thing, Mr. Gupta, market linkages, e-commerce and export system. Earlier we have seen that the government is no much keen to export Indian goods to the global stage. Now we are ready. At yesterday night, you have seen that Mr. Modi again shake the hand with Mr. Trump. And again, reduction in the tariff from 15 to 18. 50 to 18, ma'am. That will see results from the day one only. Our market is at top now. You are seeing the boom in the Nifty itself. So to provide the export support, e-commerce support, the government is ready. Or if the India-Trump war is has ended now, and now we have to pay only 18% tariff, and very soon you will see, we hope to see that no tariff on Indian product. It will further boost Make in India. What Modi tweeted yesterday night, he tweeted, it is the win-win situation for 140 crores making Indian products. It is the win of 140 crore Indians. The reduction of tariff from 50% to 18% with immediate effect. So it will boost the entire MSME ecosystem of the country. Now, further, part number 3 of my PPT, from field to formal, scaling rural agriculture business. Now, the government wants that, the concept of this Saikalta, the concept of this cooperative, the concept of the farm producer companies. Now, the government wants that farm grow, farm produce. Farmer will grow, farmer will produce. So what they are doing, they have identified, and it is a further extension of ODOP, one district, one product. What product further included in that? What focus area for this year? In last year budget of 2025, a Makhana board has constituted, and you see the impact of the same. The makhana, no one wants to eat. Now available in the market at the price of 2,000 rupees per kg, ma'am, which no one wants to buy earlier. Now it has become the nutritional atom. A world wants to buy it. People are exporting it. Everyone wants makhana, but makhana is nowhere available. Different flavor, different tastes are available. So makhana board magic. Now government compels to identify more magical products. This year, they have find some more magical products. More focus on coconut products, man. Coconut products. Diversifying coconut product, and it can be used as a virgin coconut oil. Core fiber is there. Then designated rope or anything from coconut. You can build so many items only from coconut. Even the coconut from Polochi, as we are talking about ODP, OP. The Pollachi is a place in Tamil Nadu, I think, is much famous for this coconut in the entire globe. So we want to make our coconut is a global atom, global attraction now, because we can build so many atoms from this coconut. Further, we are focusing on such value addition products. We are a much focus on cashew, ma'am, cocos, ma'am, and nuts by building MSME processing and export unit. What the government wants now, our farmer will not grow only the crops. They will grow, they will process, they will sell, they will export to make it global brand. And for this global branding, the government is focusing much focus on ODOP, one district, one product, and identifying so many items. As I discussed about coconut, I discussed about cashew, I discussed about cocos, I discussed about nuts. And further, beside that, want to develop a full chain. Full chain means from growing to making it global. The government will provide help in growing the crops, processing the crops, then making it presentable to the market, and then make it global by making it a brand. So integrated acquaintance from reservoir to export. So we will establish a full chain with processing unit, cold storage, logistic, and export services. And very important, AI powered agriculture advisory. AI powered agriculture advisory. That is Bharat Vistar. Now government is talking about Bharat Vistar. Again, it is going to build and help our MSMEs at root level. Root level. Because this agriculture AI powered Bharat Vistar platform provides AI driven advice on crops, pests, and market prices. They tell what is the price. I am very much surprised. The cow dung, ma'am, is available on Amazon. Cow dung is available on Amazon, and 4 pieces of this dung, cow dung, is available at $10-20. It is the raw product in India. No one want to touch it itself only, and that is available on Amazon. Then Kikal Datun of India is available on Amazon at the cost of $10 for 10 Datuns, which is freely available in India. Anyone, any farmer can take it away from the roadside, put it in battery pack, make it brand, and sell it on Amazon. Zero cost atom is selling for $20. It is the power of Indian MSMEs, man. We make this MSME as a great global startups now. So it is AI powered agricultural advisories will help our farmer for Bharat Vistar in real sense. In real sense, that will provide AI driven advisory on crops, on pests, on market prices. Then another very important change, expanding rural services infrastructure involves private veterinary colleges, diagnostic labs, mobile clinics for animal care. So we will now touching every part of our economy. We are touching farmers, we are touching micros, we are touching youth, we are touching health, we are touching veterinary development also. And as Mr. Gupta discussed in his deliberation, She Mart, empowering women via She Marts. Earlier it is SHG. Now the concept of SHG is further widened through SHE. Again for women empowerment. She denotes for women only, females only. So this self-help entrepreneurs and She Marts is a branding of Indian new type of business, new type of entrepreneur, which is gives our female, our women a further power, a further right to participate in this GDP contribution. So further, now formalizing rural micro enterprise. How the government is going to change this micro enterprise? Fisheries value chain. Another fisheries. So much focus is put on fisheries business. Fisheries business again come from micro and small industry, sir. So the government to develop the fisheries business in India, develop a fisheries value chain. We will develop processing unit. We will make cold chain storage facility. We'll begin logistic and export services for the fisheries. Then coconut promotion scheme. I have discussed with you. Coconut oil, coir products, value added services. Then cashew and cocoa program we have already taken. Sandalwood, another very important atom which give the attention of citizens now. Sandalwood is an atom which is a very costly. Sandalwood is very costly atom and very good attraction to the world. And this year, our finance minister Saiba has put much focus on that. Now, like Makhana board, you can see another board, Sandalwood board. And a sandalwood ecosystem in the India, we are trying to build a complete value chain for cultivation through post-harvesting of processing. From plantation, we will help for plantation, we will help for extraction, we will make handicraft from the sandalwood. Then premium nuts program, walnut, almond, pine nuts, we will focus on that. Then Bharat Vistar we have discussed, veterinary college network we have discussed, Shemart we have discussed, Net we have discussed. Now, from craft to commerce, a new vision for India traditional textile. India traditional textile. First is in that is the National Fiber Scheme. National Fiber Scheme, which secures raw material, cotton, silk, wool to ensure price stability for MSME. This National Fiber Scheme is helping to develop the textile industry, fiber industry for our MSME and further strengthening our MSME. We will convert that fiber into the handloom, and that handloom will help our she-marts to sell handmade kurtis, clothes, mats, decorative items, handicraft items. This will make India desi products, desi to global. Or believe me, if this scheme is properly implemented, our women has so much empowered, and you will see so many desi brand will soon become a global brand, because Indian architecture, Indian handloom, Indian craft industry is the lucration for the entire globe. The people are ready to pay for our atom a very high cost. So this handloom and craft convergence is there. For that, we will build mega textile parks. We will build mega textile park that offer plug and play infrastructure for MSME only to scale up without any massive investment. The government is supporting now our MSME in every sector, in every segment, in every part of business. Not only they are providing capital, not only they are providing liquidity, they are also providing marketing support. They are also providing export support. They are also providing how to make your brand global. They are also providing e-commerce support. So everything government is provided because it is a new vision. It is a modern manufacturing ecosystem in India. As Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta has discussing during speech, only 12% of GDP is coming from manufacturing sector. Now India have to grow as a further attraction for the world, and our ecosystem has to be grow very fast. Then cluster modernization have also discussed. Tax eco and SMART 2.0 is another very important one. Earlier SMART scheme is there. Now SMART 2.0 is there. Promotes sustainable growth, sustainable production, and builds to a skilled future ready workforce. So fiber, fabric, fashion, 3F. Fiber, fabric, fashion, and then to make it export. Fiber, fabric, fashion, and export. Then revitalizing traditional MSME. That is the next part of my PPT. Now textile, handloom, khadi, OP, and rural enterprises. Why traditional MSME matters now? National Fiber Scheme, textile expansion, handloom integration, tax eco, smart 2.0. We have discussed on all that. We are not touching on that again. Now, that is very important again. Where I want to put little focus. Building service ecosystem for small business. As CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta has also discussed about this service sector. In this budget, service sector is also MSME sector. The government has put much focus on this service provider. बहुत सारी चीजें मैं डिस्कस करने वाला हूं. First thing, see this infographics very carefully. This infographics outlines a strategy. This infographics outlines a strategy for transforming informal MSME into formal scalable enterprise. The core idea to establish large-scale project and institution that generate guaranteed long-term demand for a wide range of services, creating a thriving ecosystem for smaller businesses to plug into. First thing, people-centric services, health and tourism. In health sector, Finance Minister Saiba has talked about 1.5 lakh caregivers. In this busy schedule, we as a children of our parents, we have no time to take care thereof. So that's why the government is creating a man force, a trained professional. Now caregiver is a profession now, man. Caregiver is a profession now, and the government is ready to create in first year itself 1.5 lakh caregivers. A care economy initiative is building for formal ecosystem for genetic and allied care. And third, second very important point, behind this care field, we have not good in diagnostic, we are not good in hospitality, we have not good in medical logistics. So all these allied medical professionals, doctors are there. They are doing their job so well. So we want caregivers, we want diagnostic centers, we want hospitality centers, we want Ayurvedic centers, we want medical logistics to provide all these integrated healthcare complexes create demand. For that, we will creating an ecosystem to create this kind of health service providers and world-class medical hue for MSME services like diagnostic, hospitality, and medical logistics. And another very important thing, Indian heritage. Indian heritage is attraction to whole globe. The lot of tourists, the lot of tourism comes to India if we make the brand building, we make the social media ads of our हिस्ट्री और आवर हेरिटेज. क्योंकि भारत हेरिटेज में इतना ज़्यादा रिच है कि हमारे गाइड ही पूरी दुनिया को गाइड करेंगे कि भारत का इतिहास कैसा था. तो 10,000 सर्टिफाइड टूरिज्म गाइड्स वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर दिस ईयर एंड अपस्किलिंग प्रोग्राम प्रोफेशनलिज्म टूरिज्म creating opportunity for tour and travel SMEs. Creating my Yatra is already there, Make My Trip is already there, but there is no ecosystem for guides. Now we are building system for guides also, Shipra ma'am. Third very important thing, अभी तक हमारे जो कंटेंट क्रिएटर थे, एक नई इकोनॉमी अब डेवलप होने वाली है. दैट economy is called orange economy. Orange economy. What this orange economy is? It is our young generation economy again, Gen Z economy again, who is creating so much content, but nobody will recognizing. They are taking it as fun or entertainment only. Our content creator is distributing, dismantling knowledge, creating so much good content, but the world is not recognizing our knowledge or expertise or our labor on that. Our visionary Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who always met this content creator, आपने देखा उन्होंने content creator award भी किया, वो influencers से भी मिलते हैं, वो influencers से भी मिलते हैं, वो podcast भी करवाते हैं, because they want to understand the ecosystem now developing in the India. They are so visionary. So this year, the content creator business, the content creator is recognized as profession now. और क्या करने वाली है गवर्नमेंट? दे आर creating 15,000 labs in school itself. 15,000 school has created content creator lab. साइंस लैब तो सुनी होगी मैम आपने, ये कंटेंट क्रिएटर लैब फर्स्ट टाइम कमिंग इनटू द पिक्चर. And in the first year itself, the India has to create 15,000 content creator lab. 15,000 in school and 500 only in colleges. Because we want that our kids become a good content creator. If they are looking as an opportunity or as a profession, they become a good content creator. If someone is good in singing, if someone is good in making food, if someone is good in travel blogger, if someone has a good knowledge of social science, if someone has good knowledge of history, if someone has good knowledge of anything, they should come forward to the content labs. And then in the content lab, we will educate our kids how to make the video, how to monetize it, how to make the editing of the video, what to speak, what to not speak, how to make ethical videos. Everything we learn our kids through this content creation lab, and that is tech and creative services, digital and design creation of the India. And very important, another thing, digital heritage documentation. Digital heritage documentation. In this digital heritage documentation, archiving cultural asset generates work for content creator and digital platform for tech partner. The government is creating a digital heritage. Getting my point? That the government is creating a repository now where all the information with regard to the Indian heritage is available. Our government is so much visionary. No one can now stop us to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. The people are confused. The people are looking at a myth whether we become developed by 2047 or not. But I am so much confident under the visionary leadership, we will soon become Viksit Bharat even before 47. Even before 47. So digital heritage documentation is there. It is also recognized as a profession. So healthcare, caregiver, certified tourism guide, tech-driven, Gen Zs, digital heritage, and then National Design Institute expansion. What you are seeing, ma'am, by the focus, the government is saying that there is nothing in that budget. I am saying that I have never seen that kind of budget. Getting my point? So it is so much on the transformation pathways for MSME, assured demand, formalization, and scale. Earlier, all are doing that business, but all are doing it in own way. Now the government is providing them a pathway, a system, a platform to develop their skills, develop their talent, and work on their passion. Or if someone work on their passion, result definitely will follow him or her. Getting my point? So this transformational path for MSME, the institutional demand creation for MSME services, then medical value tourism hub I have discussed, then care economy initiative I have discussed, EVGC labs I have discussed in 15,000 schools and 500 colleges that create content production studios, training certification, game development, VFX and animation services. Ma'am, our comics, you must heard about Chacha Chaudhary and Sabu in your childhood time. Now it has lost somewhere. Indian Ramayanas, India Mahabharatas, India other spiritual granths, we can convert into these visual ads. You are saying now Ramayana is coming in visual forms or Mahabharata is coming in visual forms. Who will doing that? Our kids only. So they can become a very good content creator and they can world class quality content they can create. So for with the help of government, now they produce content production studios. They will certified by the government. They will help in the game development because no one playing on the field now. Physical games have no more. Everyone is playing games on mobiles only. So again, we want that our youth will come as a content creator, develop new and new game, new VFX, new animation industry because it is again very good asset base for our economy. Another very important thing, National Institute of Design expansion, tourism guides upskilling up program. National Institute of Hospitality And then digital knowledge grid. Digital knowledge grid is a very important step taken by government. Heritage site documentation. If हमारी कोई हेरिटेज की साइट है तो वी विल डॉक्यूमेंट इट कि कहाँ है, कैसे है, कितनी पुरानी है, क्या मिला था. तो वी विल create content creator in this field also, who will do the photography, how the photography is to be done, how the videography is to be done, how the 3D scanning is to be done. और ये कौन कर सकता है मैम? ये गांव में बैठे लोग, जहां पे हेरिटेज असली में बसती है, जहां भारत बसता है, वही लोग ये काम करेंगे. कोई दिल्ली से, मुंबई से, बेंगलोर से जाके लोग करने वाले नहीं है. तो जो रूट लेवल पर माई किड्स हु आर नॉट गेटिंग चांस टू show their talent now will get the chance to show their talent also. So it is a heritage site documentation. Then sport ecosystem development also is there. And Mr. Gupta has also touched upon that ecosystem in his speech. Equip manufacturing, domestic production for sport gears and facility, then coaching services, professional training and athlete development, then infrastructure maintenance and facility management. And this is the net impact on our. And in last 10 minutes, now I want to focus how and what kind of tax reforms for the MSMEs are there. So now I stop this presentation here and sharing new PPT with you. Just a minute.
Yes, Manoj.
Yes, sir. Yes. Give me a minute. Now I am discussing about in the last part, Indian MSME enabling growth and breaking resilience. A strategic policy update on evolving landscape for India for small enterprises sector. What kind of tax reforms are there for MSMEs? The three pillars. Just a minute, I think I have. Yes, three pillars of reform for India. First is unlocking liquidity, that is modernizing trade, and third is transitioning to trust. How this trust come? How this trust come? When this tax reform will happen. What kind of tax reform? That first is unlocking liquidity. We have discussed on that. Here, the government has done one more very good thing. Cash is the oxygen for MSMEs. Cash is the oxygen for MSME. New customer reform allowing working capital to remain in circulation longer rather than locked in duties immediately. Here the government has introduced a concept of proposed a concept of deferred duty payment. Earlier you have to pay duty in advance before the shipment of goods. Now for trusted MSMEs, not for everyone, this scheme of deferred duty payment is available only to the trusted MSME. So deferred duty payment introduced of a deferred duty payment window beneficially specially available to trusted MSME. Please note that it is not available to every MSME. It is available to only those MSME in which government have a trust. And what is the definition of trust? The government will tell us. The business impact, distinct improvement in working capital cycles for the importers. So it will boost our imports. Second thing, easing the burden of labor intensive sectors. What? Lower deduction certificate. Earlier, lot of money of our MSME has stuck in this TDS. And they want lower deduction TDS certificate. And there is a very rigorous procedure for getting this TDS certificate because we have to approach the AO. Everything is online in income tax. But again, for this TDS, we have to make a application or everything and with them to pursue that. Now, the government has made a policy reform in that. But a lower deduction certificate scheme for small taxpayer, including MSMEs, in which this lower deduction TDS or TCS certificate will be issued immediately and instantly through a technological development, through a portal. Nowhere want to make any application. If my income is eligible for lower deduction, I no need to make any application for lower TDS deduction. The government bring a system where lower deduction certificate is issued instantly or immediately. This will reduce percentage of revenue withheld with resources. Suppose on my income or my transaction tax is deducted or withheld at a rate of 10%. Now I want to deduct tax at a rate of 2% only. 8% withholding, 8% more cash available with me. So reduces percentage of revenue withheld with the source, increasing take home liquidity. Then simplified TDS provision. Focus area is manpower supply services. It is specific simplification of TDS at source directly benefit for labor intensive MSME where payroll is massive cash flow. The manpower supply company earlier we are withholding TDS of 10% or 5%. Now it is divided as only 1 or 2%. Take away this measure collectively improve the liquidity position of smaller entity. Then modernizing trade infrastructure, tax reform, moving from manual gates to digital signals. Moving from manual gates to digital signal, this supply chain being optimized for trusted entities. Again, for trusted entities, ma'am. Not for everyone, it is for trusted entities. Detailed system-driven clearance, policy, automatic goods registration and clearance, targeted at trusted supply chain, benefit, drastic reduction in dwell time at ports, logistic move at a speed of data, not at paperwork. It is now work as a digital workflow. Data की स्पीड से आपकी फाइल क्लियर होगी. Then unified digital governance, consolidating interactions into a single interface. पहले क्या हो रहा है और आफ्टर क्या हो रहा है मैंने ये दिखाने की कोशिश की. फ्रेगमेंटेड यूनिफाइड सिंगल टच पॉइंट. Now for all business related queries, so there is a single window. Implementation of unified system of trade. The shift moving from fragmented multi-agency interaction into a single touch point with a partner government agencies that is called PGAs. PGAs. And Business Act reduces administrative overhead and the coordination tax paid in time by business owner. Then next, some changes with regard to the tariff. Tariff on many items has brought down. As we have discussed on this tariff war, also boost the Indian businesses to go or export further. So it will precision policy design all about. Then this is the very important slide where I want to take 2-3 minutes. There are lot of provisions in every law, whether it is a tax law, whether it is a commercial law, whether it is a business law, whether it is a criminal law, whether it is any other law. There are so many provisions where for a small default you can put into the jail. Now the government is decriminalizing these procedural errors. Earlier, what they are doing? They are putting penalty, they are collecting tax, then penalty, and then litigation, and even after the litigation, you are behind the bars. Now, new approach of trust and compliance, in which many provisions, in which prosecution are there, are removed now, in income tax and GST both. If you say that entire tax reform is on the decriminalization, ease of doing, ease of compliance. 3 things I am touching. Ease of compliance, ease of doing business, and third one is penalty is now replaced with fees. Now government don't want to levy the penalty. पहले क्या होता था हर काम के लिए पेनल्टी लगती थी. सपोज अभी टैक्स ऑडिट की डेट होती है, वी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट वेरी वेरी कि टैक्स ऑडिट डेट एक्सटेंड होगी कि नहीं होगी, particularly MSME भी टैक्स ऑडिट लेट होता है. तो फॉर दैट अर्लियर 1.5% or 0.5% or 1.5 lakh is the penalty there. Now this penalty is replaced by fee. अब पेनल्टी नहीं है, अब फी है. आपको फी देनी पड़ेगी और फी देके आप अपनी लेटर भी फाइल कर सकते हैं. नो प्रोसिक्यूशन, नो एनी अदर थिंग. Second very important thing, earlier if you want to go to the appeal, a small MSME wants to go to the appeal against any tax order, they have to deposit 20% tax as a advance, 20% of demand amount earlier. Now the government has liberalized it and make it 10%. Now you have to go to appeal, you have to deposit only 10%. Earlier, they are passing separate orders for assessment, penalty, and prosecution. Now, with a single assessment order, they initiate everything. 3 अपील में नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, 4 अपील में नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. अब एक ऑर्डर सिंगल पास होगा, एक बार होगा. अब हालांकि इसके नुकसान भी हैं, वो कभी बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे, समय कम है तो उसको बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. लेकिन what they are doing now, they are transacting from old approach of penalty and litigation to new approach of trust and compliance, where conversion of penalty into fees for procedural default, where distinctions between malicious intent and procedural mistake, and which will reduce litigation exposure and creates a safer operating environment for honest businesses, then providing time for correction. Here, a correction window. Revision return time has been extended. Date for revising return early is 9 months, now it is 12 months. And similarly, time for filing updated return has also increased from 2 years to 4 years in last budget. In this budget, updated return provision also touched. What they have done, they allowed to file or update return even 148 notice. It is a very, very, very welcome step. अगर कोई कहे ना इंटायर बजट में है सबसे अच्छा टैक्स रिफॉर्म क्या है, अब क्या हो रहा है, मैं थोड़ा सा सरल भाषा में समझा दूं कि इफ समवन रिसीव नोटिस ऑफ 148 रीअसेसमेंट and even after receiving the notice, our starting the proceeding, they want to file the updated return. Earlier it is not allowed. Now the government is saying that even after the receipt of notice of 148 for reassessment, you can update your return and stop litigation here only. Stop litigation here only. So it is a very good step. It will allow MSME to correct errors without fear of any penal consequences. Encourages voluntary compliance and transparency, knowing the self-correction is permitted. Now, the aggregate impact of this, derived from deferred duty, derived from automation. So, improved cash flow and liquidity, lower compliance cost, reduced litigation exposure, trust and safety. It is gives birth to higher formalization and growth. And the frame for growth, the regulatory environment is shifting from one of friction to one of flow. One of friction to one of flow with lower compliance cost, simplified taxation, reduced litigation risk. The path is clear for Indian micro, small, and medium enterprises to transition from survival to strategic expansion. That's why the finance minister has said now MSME has to act like a champion because they have no tension about survival. They have no tension about survival. They have to think about now strategic expansion, how to make your brand global. So enabling employment, innovation, and making resilience. So with this, thank you so much once again for providing me an opportunity. Now over to Shipra ma'am for taking up any question if it is there.
Thank you so much, Lamba sir. And just to give a quick introduction of both the esteemed speakers, we have honored to today we have honored that our esteemed speakers are there with us, and I would always say that Mukesh Mohan sir is like a Dronacharya of MSME industry. Why? Because he is highly respected, a chartered accountant with more than 30 plus years of experience across banking, finance, MSME, law, accounting, and of course auditing. He has also served as an independent director on the board of Dena Bank, worked with Tata Group companies and PSUs, and was a member of National Board of MSME, Government of India. He has even been personally invited by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Damodar Das Modi ji, to discuss economic roadmap of MSMEs. He is widely known as the voice of MSMEs, and he runs immensely popular MSME helpline YouTube channel with 1+ million subscribers and 625 informative videos, and has hosted Positive Talk with Mukesh Mohan Gupta on Z Business featuring top ministers, RBI officials, and banking leaders. Thank you so much, Mukesh sir. It is really an honor to share this deck with you. And we
Thank you.
also have a CA Mukesh Lamba sir.
Manoj Lama.
Thank you, sir. Who I would Manoj Lamba sir, who all I always take as Ved Vyas of MSME industry, because your in-depth knowledge, your clarity of rules and regulations is definitely par excellence. And he's a seasoned chartered accountant with over 25 years of rich experience in auditing income tax company law. He is a social auditor and a registered mentor on Startup India portal. He actively guides startups and MSMEs from ideation to funding. He's also a co-founder of BizGan Private Limited. CA Lambaset is sought after speaker at ICAI, startup forums, angel networks, and educational institutions. He's also voice behind the popular YouTube channel Tax Ki Pathshala. He spreads tax awareness and practical insights across entrepreneur ecosystems. And we are really delighted to have both of you with us on this webinar. And just to give you a quick numbers, I think what I know about this number is more than 700 people have already joined this webinar. So you would understand how valuable your guidance and words were today. So, sir, we have few questions which are
Ma'am,
lined up
currently
with
we
me.
have-
So I would start with.
Ma'am, currently we have 1,400 people.
Wonderful. I think yes, I just got a statistics that
Wonderful when we started
the
it.
numbers have increased, and I think that is what is exciting about this seminar today. I mean, a year round of activity, and now it's the time to actually cherish that it has been recognized. And now from here on, we have to take up a huge drive. Wow! So thank you, Mukesh ji and Manoj ji. Shibra, if we've got some questions, if you can just take those questions,
Yes.
and
Yes,
then
sir.
we'll
So, first is what initiative and budget focus on skill development for MSMEs?
I would like to answer this question. As I have discussed earlier, there are so many opportunity have been created for skill development, like content creation labs for skill development, then development of these clusters, revival of cluster, then self-help tool development centers are there. There are lot of initiatives that digital content creator, then this heritage lab repositories, and this healthcare provider, caregivers. Everywhere there is a development focus on development of this skill. Only skill oriented budget. How to skill our youth.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is how does Budget 26 address the persistent working capital gap which is faced by MSMEs?
Mukesh ji, आप दीजिए आंसर का.
So the government is very well concerned about the working capital or the credit to MSMEs. There has been a recent report by SIDBI also, wherein they have estimated a 30 lakh crore of gap amongst the demand and supply for MSME credit. In this budget, they have covered it through various measures. One is not only that, they have considered the debt fund also for the micro, small, medium enterprises through a SME growth fund and SRI fund. SRI fund is already in place. In fact, 50,000 crore rupees of fund is already there, which is being managed by NSIC Venture Capital, which is a subsidiary of National Small Industries Corporation. In addition to this, the TRED is also very, very important platform to meet out the working capital requirement of MSMEs without any collateral security and at a very, very competitive rate. So what has been provided in this budget that all the invoices, and see, this is the commitment by the government that all the invoices, maybe invoice may be of 1,000 rupees, invoice may be of 1 crore rupees invoice, maybe of 50 lakh rupees, 10 lakh, 5 lakh, whatever the invoice is there. When every invoice will be routed through the TRAD platform, and it will be discounted also. In first phase, the government has told that all the invoices need to be routed through the trade platform for all the CPSCs. And it has also been mandated by the government under the trades that whatever bills are uploaded on trade platform, if there is no dispute, they have to be discounted. And friends, there are n number of financiers, NBFCs, banks, which are there looking for the invoices, in fact, the accepted invoices, and then they quote. The system is then they quote the rate of interest, and rate of interest may be as low as 7% or maybe even lesser than that. Based because the rate of interest is based on the credit rating of the buyers, not of the supplier, and these CPSCs have very good credit rating. So the banks are maybe interested to fund them at a rate of unimaginable, even 7% or less. Then the beauty of this trades is that they get the funds. So today you raise any invoice, tomorrow you upload the invoice, next day you will get the funds in your account. So this is one of the greatest support being provided by the Honorable Finance Minister in this budget. Another is through this trades also, there is an integration of government e-marketplace and the trades. So whenever any MSME gets any order through this government e-marketplace or GEM platform, it will be linked with the trades. Immediately they can, after getting the order, they can upload the invoice. So that is another very, very important thing. And most of the time, these receivables are considered as unsecured. Now, in this budget, it has also been mentioned by the Honorable Finance Minister that these receivables will be considered as the secured asset. This is again very important announcement in this budget. I feel with various provisions, and moreover, not only this budget. If you see the previous budgets also, those are also working well. Those schemes are still working. So, like very, very important scheme is credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises. An amount up to 10 crore rupees is available absolutely without any collateral security to micro and small enterprises. Then there is a scheme being announced as CGSS, which is credit guarantee scheme for startups, wherein collateral-free loan up to 20 crore rupees is available to startups. There is a scheme which was recently announced, credit guarantee scheme for exporters. There also, up to 20 crore rupees are available to MSMEs without any collateral security. There is an announcement related to interest subvention also for the exporters. So the government is concerned. And one very, very important announcement which was made in the budget 24-25 was, see, the problem of the MSMEs is that our balance sheet is most of the time not a bankable balance sheet, because as I was referring to that maybe we are not ready to show the real profits. We are not ready to put our capital as share capital. We show the investment by the promoters as unsecured loans, so on and so forth. With this, our various ratios, the current ratio, the debt equity ratio, the DSCR are not within the banking benchmark. So it was suggested by me also on behalf of Chamber of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises that we, the MSMEs, can avail the working capital only and only based on the digital footprint and cash flow based method. And it was announced in the budget 24-25 that now all public sector banks will also do their own scoring, own assessment model. And I'm happy to share that most of the banks are doing now the digital lending. Because I usually say कि भैया आप बैंक में गए, मैं ब्रांच में, और ब्रांच मैनेजर को मेरी शक्ल पसंद नहीं आई, उसने कहा कि अमिताभ बच्चन से तो मिलती नहीं है या शाहरुख खान से तो मिलती नहीं, मैं लोन नहीं दूंगा. So the loan should not be a subjective thing. It should be based on my digital footprint. And in today's scenario, we have all digital footprint like GST, bank statement, income tax, balance sheet, MCA, EPF. All the lot of digital footprints are available. So now bankers are doing digital sanction. Maybe you will be surprised that I have the cases where the banks have sanctioned loans up to 5 crore or even 10 crore rupees in just single one day. And State Bank of India proposed to do this digital lending up to 50 crore, maybe within a year's time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was an insight. And honestly, most of the queries are already resolved because you have given the entire details in one go. So that's what is. So one more question which I have. Are there any specific women incentives which are given to first generation women entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So there is a scheme called Stand Up India. It is especially for the women entrepreneur, where the initial was 1 crore rupees, but now the limit has increased to 2 crore rupees. And this Stand Up India scheme is especially for the new entrepreneurs only and women entrepreneurs. So if any woman is interested to put up any manufacturing, service sector or trading activities, they can avail this Stand Up India loan up to 2 crore rupees without any collateral security, because it's also covered under credit guarantee scheme.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So with this, we are almost done with all the queries.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So on behalf of
Thank you, Arpit ji.
entire,
Thank you very much.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Manoj ji and Mukesh ji. I think on a very short notice, we've turned this around, and we've just made it so relevant for all the audiences. And I'm sure from here on, our certificate courses and almost everything other that we're doing will become so relevant, and we'll be able to really serve the entire country in a very, very effective manner as a corporate mitra through our MSME clinics.
I would just have one question, in fact.
Mukesh ji.
You referred in your initial address that the chartered accountants can now be corporate mitras, right? But when I read the budget, I suppose intention doesn't seems to be that.
Right.
That chartered accountant can be, because it says that these accredited para-professionals,
right?
yes.
So they want effectively they want us to train more people and convert them into para-professionals.
Yes. So I was having some confusion that how the chartered accountants would
So
be.
what I want to say is, there are 9 crore MSMEs already, 90 lakhs of them only are being served by chartered accountant. It is first of all a chartered accountant through our MSME clinics. If we start serving them and handholding them, then of course all these you call para-professionals, you call corporate mitras, you call by whatever name called business accounting associates, or by whatever name BCom grads, they will get trained under chartered accountant and will render those services to these as a corporate mitras.
Because the chartered
Because I
accountants
don't see any other framework that exists for corporate mitras as such.
Yeah.
Arpit sir,
I'm happy to share with you that we at Chamber have more than 38,000 MSME Mitra as on date. And they are also working the same way, because I also discussed this with the Honorable Finance Minister also.
Wonderful.
We gave this idea to during the pre-budget consultation that we have more than 38,000 MSME. What we do the training, and they go to the MSMEs of their area. So what happens, sir? Because in very remote area, or even in Delhi also, if you discuss with many of the MSME, the biggest problem is lack of awareness.
Exactly.
So none of the MSME seems to be aware of the schemes various ministries and departments have for them. So perhaps the intention of the budget proposal is that we, the institutes, all three institutes, will train the maybe unemployed people who are interested to support the MSMEs, and they can earn also. So we can train them, and in turn they can go and educate.
So we will be essentially the bridge to serve the MSMEs. And that can happen only, so that is why MSME clinics have become so relevant from now on. And unless a chartered accountant knows about the MSME framework, how will that be translated forward towards these BCom grads, or so I think that is the second line of what ICI is actually doing now. So once we start getting this,
I would like to thank you really and appreciate the way you did this MSME clinic. I suppose the message has gone to the government.
Absolutely.
And inspired by these MSME clinics, perhaps they might have brought this provision.
So the best part of us is, we are present at so for example, you said 78,000. I'm saying 183 branches, over 1.5 lakh members. So we are one of the best people to get things on the ground, up and running at the very instance of whenever that we want. I think this is the prowess that we are now, this is the power that we need to harness. And as you said, since you are also, rendering these services, and you also, the awareness is something important. Most of the MSMEs really don't, the entrepreneurs are not even aware about this. And therefore, the term that we've coined, Fathom, we are focused on working on the future, with this awareness. Manoj, you had to say something, yes.
Yes. Sir, from last 2 days, the point which Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta has raised, the member has afraid that, has misconception in mind that our work is going on to some corporate mitras, because the government is creating another force, and our institute is a part of that. So here I am giving a very good suggestion, since it is for all, so let's involve our students in that also. Because
Manoj, I think, very valid point, but our idea is clear. Unless my chartered accountant becomes relevant, unless he becomes active, sir, no other framework can actually work.
yes,
आज मुकेश जी एक्टिव हैं तो 78,000 कॉर्पोरेट मित्रास आ गए हैं. They are earning their livelihood through them. So I'm saying, and so is the case with so many influencers, so is the case with mutual fund distributors, so is the case with all of this. There has to be a catalyst. It is we, my chartered accountant, who will first become a catalyst under ICI and our framework. I think that is how we'll push it. And then, effectively, it will be rendered, sir. Otherwise, it
और
will
कहना
become
चाह
very
रहा हूँ सर,
difficult.
नो
Yeah.
डाउट अबाउट दैट, वी आर द बेस्ट, बट काफी सारे बच्चे हमारे ऐसे हैं जो सीए क्लियर नहीं कर पाते. उनको हम
We
कॉर्पोरेट
can discuss,
मित्रा की
Anmol, we can
अपॉर्चुनिटी
discuss
दे
this.
सकते हैं.
If you permit, we can discuss this in
Any
detail.
these students will play an important role, I'm sure. Yes,
Yes.
that is what business accounting associate we've
Yes, yes, yes.
we've approached
Like
them.
on the similar mode.
Yes, yes, yes. But it's great, and I think it's a very good opportunity. Every CA should now get up to this and start working towards this, because as I said, 8 crore का gap है MSMEs का. हमारे जितने भी चार्ट अकाउंटेंट्स है ना सर, मतलब ओवर टाइम भी काम कर लें, 24 घंटे भी कम पड़ेंगे टू रेंडर दो सर्विसेज. So therefore we would need a second year of entire this, and that is a welcome move. जो modular courses हमने बनाया है, I think आप दोनों भी उसमें involved हैं. A 21-hour course that we have developed, very soon we'll be rendering this service to the other grads as well. That will help us set up corporate mitras quickly, effectively, and under every chartered accountant there will be a team which will then work very efficiently. All right, on that note, much sorted, much needed clarification that everyone wanted is finally out. And I'm sure all of us will now work with much more clarity and much more inspiration towards this beautiful sector, MSMEs. Thank you very much once again, Mukesh ji and Manoj ji and Shipra. Thank you very much for coordinating this well. And congratulations once again. We've been awarded almost at every places for the best MSME services that we've rendered as ICI. Have a good time. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Neeraj ji, please stop the recording.